Alright, I've got this JS2 out here with a 9-inch coil. You JS1 users and JS2 running a mono program and even fast multi-frequency. You may find this video here interesting. You see that little bullet down there? And I've got that nail right there. And I purposely have booby-trapped that bullet. We're only going to be sweeping from this direction, okay? You'll find the results in this video very interesting. I've actually dialed this machine to 17 kilohertz. 17.6, that's pretty close to what a JS1 ran with the low frequency calls. This brings back some old memories, boys, because I used one of those coils a lot in a high iron sight. Okay, so now I've got the silencer at 0. Okay, full tones. Silencer's at 0, and I've got a disc of 3.0 in full tones. We'll see if you can hear this in this camera here. You hear that? I'm going to back the call up more toward the nail. Hear that right there when I advance that call? That's what you're going to hear on the wall with this machine in mono program on some mouse targets, and you're going to hear it on a JS1, okay? Full tones. Now notice my disc setting there is 3. I'm going to move that back up to 6.8 or 6.1, I'm sorry, 6.1 default setting. I'm going to see if you can hear this. I'm going to back the call up over the nail. Sounds identical. Meaning when I back that call up, I'm getting the same kind of song and dance on that detector. This is what I noticed with JS1. About a 3 disc would pick the pitch up on a non-ferrous mass target. Listen again. Hear that? Back the call up over the nail. Not the same signature. Hear that? So that machine, it's 0 silencer, 17.6 kilohertz. Disc of 3, I can hear that bullet right there, okay? In a high iron sight, old sharpshooter would be digging in an old sight. Alright? Now that's 17.6 kilohertz. Let's back up over here to the fast program. 6.8 disc, pitch tones, silencer of 1. What do we hear on this? Alright, I'm going to back the call up. I hear the exact same signature no matter where that call is with those settings in this machine, okay? Now, we're going to sensitive FT, 6.8 disc, full tones. I've dialed the offset to 10. Silencer on it is 1. And these are all in speed 3 you're seeing in this video, okay? Alright, so we hear a little bit something there. So the sensitive FT there is exposing that bullet more so than equivalent in the window settings in the fast program with pitch tones. Here's fast again. I'll tell you what I'll do. In the interest of this video, I'm going to change the audio type to high square. Okay, let's listen again. So I do get a little something there with high square, especially coming right to left with that call. You hear that? Listen. Hear that? Back the call up. I don't hear that. See, hear that? Okay, let's change the tones to PWM and try this, okay? This is the fast program. Okay. So I can hear it in PWMs as well. Let's see what I've got here. What have I got for tones in this machine? Yeah, that's pitch tones. Okay. So let's go back to the square tones. Let's listen to this again. That's all I'm doing is changing the tones in this fast program. It's square tones. I hear a little something in there. High square again, fast program. Now I'll come back over the nail. Hear how that nail, how it's flat? Push that coil forward. Okay, that's the fast program. Now we're back in sensitive FT, 6.8 disc, silencer 1, PWM tone. So you can hear that. Back over the nail, it sounds flat sounding. Alright, now let's change the tones in this baby. High square in the sensitive FT silencer 1. Hear that? Back over the nail. Back up over the bullet. I've got to watch this fall over here. The high square there's doing a pretty good job, ain't it, boys? Let's go back to square and listen to this. Alright. Now, let's go back. I'm going to leave it in high square. Let's let the disc down on this sensitive FT. Let's let it down to about 3. What does this sound like? Don't sound too good, does it? It's hard to differentiate. Let's raise the disc a little. To 5, what do we get here? Back the call up. So it does sound different when that call is pushed up, you know, more in the direction of that bullet. Now, I'm going to put the disc back at 6.8. I'm going to raise the silencer to 2. What happens here? Ain't much there. Now, let's go over here to mono program. Alright. We'll leave the disc, full tones. I'm going to raise the silencer on it to 2. What do we hear here? So even with a silencer of 2 at 17.6 kilohertz, I can tell a difference there. Alright, now let's leave the disc at 3. Let's raise this frequency on up. 32 kilohertz. This is about like the mid-band was on that HF call for Deus 1. Still in speed 3. Silencer 2. Back the call up. Push the call forward. Hear that pitch change? Alright, so that target right there would be classified as a crippled target, most definitely for a Deus 1 running the upper frequency band, okay? And what I'll do is I'll go back and let that frequency back down. And we will go in here and change the silencer back to 0. Okay, silencer's at 0, okay? You see that meter, what it's reading? Likes to trend down there pretty low. I'm back over the nail now. Push the call forward. Hear that? That's exactly what you would hear in the wild with this detector running full tones, okay? Deus 1 and this one in mono program. Now I'm going to raise the disc back up to 6.1. Silencer's at 0. We're changing to pitch tones. Let's see what we hear here. That's coming over the bullet. I'm going to back the call up. Pitch tones, I can't see that bullet right there. 6.8 DS, 0 silencer. I cannot discern that bullet is there. Listen. Backing the call up. You hear that? And if I change to full tones, okay. Now that's a 6.1 disc. We'll listen to it. See a 6.1 disc in full tones. I cannot discern that bullet is there. Disc 3. Let's listen. Hear that? And I'm going to back the call up to the more so toward the nail. Hear that different signature? Back over the nail again. Push it more toward the bullet. Okay. I just thought I would show this, you know. Some people with Deus 1s and running mono on this mighty monster here. You know, you might learn something from this video here. Alright. Hope you enjoyed.